How do you define confidence? Because currently I'm trying to unpack this idea I have about confidence, that it might not necessarily be related to success or victory in any direct way. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's actually tied to failure. And I wanted to unpack that today, but not in a guide guru type of way where I'm telling you, hey, you should do this, but more of a way of just rambling pretty much and having moments of clarity where I eventually say something that could be insightful, but most of the time I will end up probably saying, wait, what was I talking about and how did we get here? Um, Also, it's going to be a way for me to try to articulate thoughts or ideas without these filler words or filler wait, I think just give myself moments to pause. But today is the first episode, or this episode is the first episode of Ramblings of a Tortured Mind. And I am David Nana, the tortured mind in question. And I'm going to be rambling, but there will be some nuggets that I think would help anyone who's watching this, or even me who watches this, as I articulate what I'm saying. So, yes, let's talk about confidence. I often think, or I have thought in the past, that yes, confidence has something to do with how many times I succeed in my attempt to build evidence that I am the person that I claim I am, or the person that I want to be. That would make me more confident. And I think that is, of course, true, but I think it also has something to do with failure and how we handle failure. For instance, if I decide to practice shooting in football, right? Let's say I practice 10 shots and all of them go in. Of course, I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be like, yeah, rah, that's fantastic. And every time I shoot, I always score. But the day that I fail, the day that I don't actually score, even though it's just once, it will feel like all the confidence goes away because my confidence lasts as long as my successes. And I think that is the key in actually building, I suppose, sustainable success. Is that maybe you don't actively or consciously tie that success to, or tie your confidence to success, but it's an understanding that your confidence should actually be built on a foundation of your character when you do fail. Like the moment you fail, can you still remain confident? Either knowing that you will succeed eventually, or knowing that, oh, this is a challenge that I have to overcome. Even if I don't end up succeeding in the way that I think, I still end up succeeding in some way or learning something, and that's a victory in my books. This is what I mean when I say rambling. I don't even know where my mind is going to go, but I just wanted to unpack that. I'm still going to unpack that, but the idea that, oh, just because I failed doesn't mean that there's now no evidence that I was ever competent or capable in the first place. So you have to adjust the lighting on this because the sun is going down. But yeah, simply because I messed up or I failed objectively or subjectively. Subjeff? Who's Jeff? Like, I won't do the meme. Um, but yeah, just because I failed at something, or even the word failed sounds so heavy. It sounds so final. But I'm sure you've heard this quote before. And if you haven't, I don't know who said it, but I'll say it now. That failure is not a life sentence. It is a, how did I, failure is not a life sentence. It's like a temporary status, essentially. And if we take failure, failure is not a life sentence, it's a life lesson. You don't take failure as, I'm done. There's nothing else I can do after this. If I made version 1 of an app, which I'm currently doing, if I made version 1 of a script, if I put something out there, or even if I attempted something and it didn't work, if it didn't work, it's over. It's a sign that I should never try this ever again. That's insane. Just even verbalizing that, I think, helps you understand that, oh, shoot, this may not be, just because of the magnitude of the failure, or the magnitude of the failure shouldn't determine how I see what I should do moving forward in terms of giving up or not giving up. Maybe it tells me what I need to do in terms of strategy and in terms of direction and in terms of pivoting, but it doesn't automatically mean whatever I'm doing right now, I need to stop and never try again. And I think in the past, I have thought that before. For instance, there was a solid period in my life, a solid period. There was a certain period in my life where I would try to lose weight. And in total, I tried about 5 times. But it wasn't until, let's just say, I experienced some emotional turmoil. I won't be specific exactly about it because I'll talk about that in another episode in the future. But I experienced something and I felt inadequate. I felt like who I wasn't enough. Therefore, the next goal would be I need to lose weight because I need to be better. That is what will make me actually look or sound better, or just a better candidate in general, especially for, I guess, romantic affection. Um, and I guess I can talk about it. It was a heartbreak, but it wasn't a heartbreak in like, oh, someone broke up with me. It was two or threefold in that one, I realized that I wasn't the man that I thought I was in terms of my character and the progress I had made. I thought I was further along, but I actually wasn't. Two, I realized that basically I wasn't worth waiting for. Like if anyone was gonna wait for me or even see me as a risky investment, like am I even worth the risk? And I didn't see that. And three, man, I don't know. I was just fat. Like I was just overweight. And this, I realized that how I talk about myself in the past sounds like I'm speaking on someone else. It has nothing to do with anyone else. If you're overweight right now, it doesn't make you any less valuable. I'm not trying to be cheesy. I'm actually the last person to ever try to lie to you or make you feel better just by saying some stuff. I think I just need to realize that how I speak about myself, my past self, present self, future self, if someone can relate to that in some way, it isn't me talking about them as a person. You have to understand as you're watching that this has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me. Because I know that that version of David, although I'm sure, yes, he was kind or he had some good qualities or some valuable things about him, I think he was living a mediocre life, a life that was inferior to what he could possibly tap into. And now that I'm on the other side of losing that weight, I have realized that, oh shoot, there's so much more I could achieve based on that. And this ties into that confidence of when I was in that state, because I saw myself as so inferior for some strange reason. I had all these insecurities. And if you've ever been a big person, you know that classic move of when you're wearing something and you know maybe you're feeling particularly bigger and you like kind of pull your shirt over. Like whenever you stand up, you pull your shirt, you do certain things. Maybe you wear all black and you wear really like more layers even in the hottest weather. In the summer, I would wear like a sweater or a jumper, and then I would wear like an overshirt as well, or a shacket. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you've ever seen that. And if you go to H&M's website, I'm pretty sure they have that. But yeah, I would just wear, and they'd be like, "Oh, David, aren't you hot?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." I was sweating. I was profusely sweating. I don't think you understand. But yeah, I was doing all these things, going to all these lengths to hide this insecurity that I had because I was like, no one can see me, even though they could already see me. And I don't know who I was trying to fool. I don't know what I was doing, whether it was definitely conscious. I definitely knew that I was trying to hide something, but it was sort of like conscious, like subconsciously. Like I was conscious of the fact that I was doing that, but it became subconscious the more I did it. So the more it became a habit, it just became second nature. Oh, make sure you do this adjustment. Again, it became second nature. So when I would stand up to adjust to make sure my man boobs weren't showing, it wasn't a conscious decision. It was just, oh, I'm doing this. I've done this so many times in the past that it just becomes a habit that I have, like a mannerism. It becomes a part of me, even though I wasn't consciously thinking, oh, I need to hide this right now before anyone really sees me, right? So what I learned in that period of trying and stopping and trying and stopping wasn't that one, it wasn't that I wasn't capable of doing anything good in my life. It was rather the most important thing I think is I didn't have a good enough reason. Now, do I think feeling inadequate or feeling less than and feelings of desiring validation and spite, do I think all those together are a good reason or a good purpose or a good why to have for doing something? Morally, I wouldn't say yes. I don't think it aligns with scripture, which, by the way, I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. And the goal for me right now is to become more of a man that Jesus would be proud of, but also to be someone that my family can look up to in any sort of way. Not that, hey, oh, we worship, not on some like, I don't know, not on like, oh, hey, we think you're the best, but more like, oh, okay, we like the character of David. We like being associated with him in that way. What was I saying? Oh man, that's the whole point of this podcast. You just get thoughts out and just let it out there. Even if no one watches, I'm gonna watch this and be able to develop ideas from there. So yeah. But I guess my point was that in all my days, I've actually forgot what I was gonna say. Rah. And this is where we pause and then we come back to the point we're trying to make about confidence. And let me try and find my train of thought again. I'm not gonna cut any of this out, by the way. Because I want you guys to see me just gradually get better at this. Oh man. Yeah, I'm losing it for sure. Okay, let me just make my point. Yeah, I think the reason why I was doing this wasn't it was primarily because of it was primarily because I didn't want to be and feel inadequate anymore, and I wanted to, I guess, have more people respect me. I wanted to have more guys respect me and see like, oh shoot, bro, like you're a great physique, and also women sort of not necessarily swoon over me, but just I don't know if you I don't know if you guys have ever experienced, but just when someone looks at you in a way where you kind of know that they're looking at you in like a um it doesn't it's not it doesn't I don't mean for it to sound not necessarily like a I know what I'm trying to say. Not in a necessarily a romantic way or like, oh, I like the way you look, but more like, oh, like I see you. Yeah, sort of like I like the way you look kind of way. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for validation from both men and women. Men in like a respect, like, bro, shoot, like how can I be like you? And from women, we're like, oh, like he's interesting. He's not cute because cute is what you call a dog. Cute is what you call those little pugs. Cute is what you call a pit bull chewing a well, that's a bit dark. Oh, that's so cute. Like that's what that cute sounds like to me. But like, oh, he's handsome or he's attractive or I'm quite fond of how he looks, right? So my major point that I was trying to make is that I don't think that is a great or morally good motivation or purpose or why to have, but I think it's effective. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think doing something because you're running from something just for some reason is just effective. Is it sustainable? I I am I'm leaning towards saying no because at some point either you'll get the exact results you were looking for or you'll get the complete opposite, and it's like, okay, what do you do then, right? If I'm doing it for validation and I never get the validation, then I'll have to just keep thinking, oh, that means I'm just not buff enough. My muscles aren't big enough to get the attention of the people that I'm looking for your attention from. My muscles aren't big enough to get the validation that I'm seeking, that I'm looking for, right? But if it's something like I just want to be healthy for my future family, obviously that's going to be a lifelong journey, but it is never something that has like an objective metric. Or even just a better thing is I want to be healthier than I was yesterday. That is a more measurable metric because it's something that you have direct access to and have an immediate comparison over of like, oh shoot, am I healthier today than I was yesterday? Yes or no? That's more sustainable because as long as you're alive, there will always be an opportunity to analyze and think, oh shoot, am I healthier today than I was yesterday? It's a simple yes or no. And if it's a yes, great. If it's a no, then you know what to do from there. But if you're seeking validation in that way and your confidence or your fulfillment is based on what an external entity or external agents think about you, then it will always rely on those external agents. Your metric for success will always be, oh, what does this other person think about me, right? So that's what it took me for me to actually lose the weight was I had to, don't get me wrong, most of the weight loss came from I don't want to be fat again. I don't want to look in the mirror as a young man, and see boobs. That's not normal. If I have bigger boobs than Sarah in my class, I'm finished. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm sorry. If your name's Sarah, this has nothing to I don't know any Sarahs. I don't know why I just picked a random name. But it's just like, if I look in the mirror and just feel pathetic, not that that is immediately a sign that I am correct, but it's more objectively, I'm not in an optimal state, but then also subjectively, I know what I think I'm capable of, and this is not it. So that definitely shot my confidence in a way that I think I would have to do the exact opposite of what I was doing in that moment in order to fix it, right? And the confidence that was built from that point onwards became something that even till this day, I still look in the mirror and I'm shocked and I'm happy that, oh shoot, like I really did this. But the only reason, and this is where I make my main point, the only reason that confidence meant anything, the only reason why that victory meant anything was because I had tasted the bitter sorrow of defeat. Like when you feel insecure, when you feel like you're not enough on a daily basis, And then one day you finally feel like, not even feel like you're enough, but you feel like you can get to a point where you're like, rah, like, man, okay, I'm definitely capable of something more than I thought before. So it's not that you finally reached nirvana, you finally ascended, you finally become way more than you ever thought you could be, but in a sense, you have just improved. And I know it sounds cliche, but like, oh, 1% better every day. Yes, that is actually true. Whether or not you're calculating whether it's 1% or not, I think you'll know when a day is just objectively better than the day before. You'll know when you've just taken a step that you wouldn't otherwise take in the past. And that's always, always a win. I'm not the type of person who's like, give yourself grace. Every win is a win. No, don't get me wrong. I will say every win is a win, but I think when I'm saying what I'm saying right now, I'm more thinking in the realm of, if you can confidently say that I have done something today that is better than how I would have done yesterday or even 2 minutes before, that is a win. And nowadays I've started measuring my day based off fruitfulness. Like, how fruitful was I? At first it used to be like, how productive was I today? Just purely productivity, meaning measurable metrics. Did I do this? Success. If I didn't, I'm worthless. I mean nothing. And I'm so serious. That that's another thing where it's like, is this a good thing to be constantly thinking about? No. But is it effective? Sort of, in a way. But now when I switch that mindset from when I switch that mindset from I mean nothing until I do something to being fruitful, which for me, again, in that worldview of the Christian worldview, is that I love someone today. Did I show the love of Christ to someone in the best way that I could have? Was I kinder, right? Was I able to control my temper? Was I able to refrain from acting out of frustration? Those are very important things I think we can note in order to measure ourselves against who we were yesterday. And it's very easy to build confidence that way, because you're actually looking at things that you will always have to face, right? And those temporary boosts of, it's not even temporary, but those, I guess, less sustainable boosts of confidence when you win, they're only made that much sweeter and that much more potent and that much more long lasting if you go through a series of failures, if the dominoes keep falling in a way that aren't in your favor. But then when you finally taste victory, it's like, raw, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And I think that's truly what builds confidence. Sure, of course, confidence is built from all those things. It's a fake it till you make it thing, because you have to be delusional sometimes. If you're 270 pounds and you're trying to get to 180 pounds in less than 6 months, you have to be delusional. And some people might even think you have to do things in a very unhealthy way. I'm not going to lie to you. What I did to lose weight, this is not advice. You do not do this. I'm not asking you to do this. I was born in a certain country, raised in another country, and I live in a different country. I'm sure all those environmental changes has allowed me to adapt my body in certain ways that just allowed me to do what I did. So what I'm about to tell you, you don't have to do this. I'm not asking you to do this, but essentially what I did was I started with a keto diet. I was like, oh shoot, I'm 270 pounds. I have to just eliminate all carbs, because I was born in London, but I was raised in Ghana, right? So most of our food is just carbs, just carbs, literally just carbs. And I was also sedentary. So carbs plus being sedentary plus also being it was during COVID time as well where I got like really big. So quarantine and just doing nothing. Like, the sedentary I'm talking about isn't like, oh, I was behind a desk all day. No, I was in bed most of the day, just doing, like, I was on my laptop, I would sleep, I would eat late. So just sedentary plus just bad habits and also bad food. So I needed to take drastic measures to ensure that I wasn't even tempted to go back to that lifestyle, right? Now it's a different story because I lost all the weight. But during that time, I just realized, or I just remember being an entirely different person. Like, if you looked at that David, I just was not the same. I would fast for most of it. So here's exactly what I did, right? First, it started with keto, right? No carbs, like literally, low carbs. And then I was focused on eating chicken and rice, which from one source, I got it from a food truck, which was on our campus. By the way, I was a Drexel student at that time, Drexel University in Philadelphia. This accent, I know, I was born in a different country, and we'll talk about that in a different episode, right? That was supposed to be this episode, like identity, and how sometimes I feel like a caricature of my own self, like parts of myself. Like it's like I'm cosplaying as myself or what I think certain parts of myself should be. But that's a different episode. But yeah, I was at Drexel University, so we have a bunch of food trucks around. This food truck, I would go there every day, about $8, and I known them for a while, so they always just gave me extra. Plus, they also just sometimes didn't charge me the same price they would other people. So I would just get teriyaki chicken, teriyaki pork, and then fried rice, and just go home and eat that. Um, Again, not the craziest, most healthiest thing, but I had cut out the Chick-fil-A. I had cut out I don't know, fast food basically. Now you can still call this fast food. There's probably some stuff in there that's not the healthiest, but you know, it's all right. Like it was better than what I was doing. And my breakfast used to be, oh Lord, my breakfast used to be, it was honey wheat bread and it was toasted, and I would have like I don't even know, like eight of the already sliced bread, which means like four, like a stack of four toasts, like toast sandwiches, with butter in there, and then eggs, and then bacon, and then sausages, and then I would have Swiss Miss, which is hot chocolate, with marshmallows. Two of those packets. Now, one, you already like allow it, bro. But two, you're killing everything down there. You're killing it. I'm telling you right now. So that's what I was doing to myself. So because of the situation I was in, the solution, the remedy had to be equally as drastic, right? Now, this is not advice. That's what I decided to do. So I was fasting and doing that. So I would not eat for most of the morning because I was also in school and I was doing a bunch of work. So it was easy to just keep my mind off the fact that my tummy was rumbling, and also realizing that it was a craving, and focus on doing the work that I was doing. But after that, I would go to the gym immediately after that. And then what I would do next is finally eat either once a day or eat 2 meals in that short time window, intermittent fasting. Obviously, that's how it goes. And then just for the rest of the evening, not eat anything and then go to bed early. And then as I did that, I was like, you know what? I think I could tune this in a bit more. And that's when I found, this is not a sponsorship, by the way. This just happened to literally happen to be on my desk. I went to this place, GFG. It's on Drexel's campus, and all I started doing was getting chicken and salmon, because I used to get chicken and rice from them as well, because I was like, that's the typical gym bro diet, like rice and chicken, rice and chicken. But their chicken was like really good, like zesty lemon pause, zesty lemon chicken, I think. And it didn't even, there was no strong hints of lemon. It didn't taste like lemon chicken, because I don't like any citrus flavors. Well, unless it's poppy. I love the poppy orange. Poppy, if you're watching this, please sponsor me. Anyways, sorry. How did we get there? What was I saying? Yeah, so I used to get chicken and salmon all the time, and just gradually, not even gradually, almost within a week or within 2 weeks, once I found out they could do that, and they let me do that graciously, by the way, like get nothing else, just chicken and salmon. And they set like a price for me, so I always knew what I was getting. And at that time, I was on co-op as well, so I would just spend like, imagine spending, and I'm sure this sounds crazy to some people, but like I don't spend my money on many things, but I was spending, let's say, $15 a day just eating food that I know is like freshly prepared, fresh ingredients, and just helped me lose a ton of weight. It was worth it to me. So just chicken and salmon, and I would also get ground beef from Costco and just be eating that whenever I was like hungry, and I would get beef jerky as well as like a snack. So, and then just a bunch of supplements. If you guys actually want to know exactly what I did, let me know, and I'll talk about it in another episode, or on my other channel, which is called David Nana or Valiant Poet, where I do vlogs and show you my actual life, because I want to be upfront about everything that I'm doing as I'm on a journey to becoming undeniable, and as I'm I don't know, living life as a young man trying to pursue Christ and certain things in life with certain vices and hardships and struggles that I have. But yeah, off topic, but let's go back. Let's go back to what I was talking about. But yeah, just get chicken and salmon. And like I said, following that, just even being able to follow that diet was just showing me that, oh shoot, like I can do this. Like I didn't think, like my diet growing up has just been whatever mommy cooks, that's what you're eating. Whatever auntie cooks, that's what you're eating. And breakfast was, I don't know if you're African, you probably know this, or maybe Australian or European, Milo, or people call it Milo. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I remember the drink of champions or the breakfast of champions, something like that. And I was a fiend for this. And bread, don't get me started, bro. Sugar bread, man, bro. If you know, you know. If you're West African, you know. Like bread, bro, you don't understand, bro. I was a fiend. I could finish a whole loaf and eggs. I know Ghanaians love eggs. That's like a stereotype, but bro, eggs are great. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Eggs. The ratio of protein to fat is, or fat to protein of like 2 to 1 fat protein ratio, which is great for your body, right? And essentially, I just did a bunch of research. I looked into Dr. Berg. I don't know what you think about him, but I followed his advice a lot on intermittent fasting and just eating food. And I started watching Dr. Ken Barry and a lot of different people, Carnivore MD as well, of just talking about the keto diet and eating low carbs or no carbs. And then, like I said, eventually when I found out that GFG would allow me to get just chicken and salmon, and I started like having a relationship with them, I would just get chicken and salmon all the time and just not eat any carbs, like zero carbs. Take a cold shower. This was my routine. Cold shower in the morning. English. Cold shower in the morning. Then no food still. Get to work, do a bunch of stuff, everything I need to do. Then around 2 p.m. or around like 3, I would then start, I'll go work out. And when I tell you I'm working out for like an hour and 30 minutes. I'm doing cardio. Like cardio. Like a mile or like a 2 mile run. And then I would also do like a workout. It wouldn't necessarily be a 2 mile run all at once, but I would run, do the treadmill before and after, and then also do a workout, like resistance training. And this was just like every day. I literally randomly looked up someone split online, and I just followed that. So Monday was chest and back. Tuesday was legs. Wednesdays was biceps and triceps, and then Thursday was a rest day, and then repeat the cycle from Friday to Sunday. So I did that every day, and even on Thursdays when it was a rest day, I would just do cardio. So I would do boxing, which was again moving my body, doing some energy stuff. I feel like, guys, trust me, I'm getting there to the confidence. I'm just, I guess, taking you through my journey of finally building the confidence that I didn't think it was possible for me to have, but I definitely knew that I could have the moment I started doing things that I never knew I could do. But it wasn't from succeeding at those things. It was just even attempting and coming close to achieving it in a way, or even being really far away from it. So I don't need to continue going with my story. Let's just say that maybe if you want me to talk about it in another episode, I will. But let's just say that I was able to successfully lose all the weight. And the very things that I was doing it for, the validation, being desired in a way. One time I was running. Fortunately or unfortunately, I was shirtless, right? Now, keep in mind, I've never been jacked a day in my life before this. I was fat, I was skinny, I was short. I wasn't physically impressive at all. So it's like giving a kid an iPad with 5 bags of candy and being like, hey, I know you've tasted this, but don't eat it. Don't do it all. I'm sorry. I'm gonna eat it. Oh man. Like you bet, like I was like, oh, I'm just running because I'm hot. But then also in the back of my mind, not even in the back of my mind, I would openly tell people, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to wear my shirt anymore. For some reason, after losing weight and just seeing my abs for the first time, there's just a strange desire to just never have a shirt on. I don't know. I can't describe it. Even when it's cold, I'm like,
bro, randomly the shirt came off. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say. It's not my fault.
But yeah, sorry. The point was, randomly, I was running one day. Oh, I had finished running, and some guy stops me. Now, again, keep in mind, I lost weight because I was like, I need the respect. I need to feel desired in a way, but not by dudes. Pause. Never by dudes. Respect from dudes, but desire from women. You get the point. You know what I'm trying to say? Oh my days. This is a great first episode, right? Right? Like and subscribe. My point is, some guy stops me. There's a group of them, and one guy says, bro, like, that's my dream physique. Like, keep it up. And I was like, there's no way this dude just said this to me. Now, I didn't think it was weird. I didn't think it was like a pause moment. I was just like, internally, I was doing jumping jacks. But outwardly, I was like, oh no, thank you, bro. Like, I looked sincere, like I was sincerely thanking him. Because there was a group of them as well. And they were like, yeah, bro, like, keep it up. And I was like, no, I appreciate that, bro. Like, love. And I came to find out that these guys lived in my neighborhood. So I was like, every time they would see me, they're like, oh, I'm like, and I felt weird for being shirtless. but, hey, in that moment, I was like, I've been able to do something that I never thought I'd be able to do. And I'm actually getting the exact thing that I wanted. But it wasn't the fact that I was getting that, because they won't say that every time they see me. Like, in fact, at some point, people just got used to me looking the way I look. And now everyone that knew me or got to know me from 2 years ago, they don't even know what I was like fat. So now they think I've always been this confident. So they're not gonna, most people don't feel like they need to encourage people who they think already are encouraged or already are confident. They mostly want to encourage people who they think, oh, like, I think he needs a pat on the back. Because I remember when I was fatter or bigger, right? And I was running once. And I don't know if I had my shirt off or was on, but I think the way people looked at me and talked about me was almost like, oh, that's so cute. Look, oh, you go, David. That's so adorable. He's trying to change his life. Look at him. This dude is trying to improve himself. Isn't that adorable? That's what that's what people saw, or that's what people like. That's the look people gave me. Maybe I was just insecure and I was projecting, but someone genuinely said like, you go, like, go you, and I was like, I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the way you said that. That sounded a bit. That seemed a bit demeaning. But the moment that I lost all the weight, people were just like looking at me like, oh, like, why's your shirt off? Like, why you showing off? I'm like, I promise you, I was doing this when I was like about to lose weight, because I was genuinely like, I was genuinely sweating at that time, because when you're bigger, your sweat glands are a bit, they're kind of active, right? Because you have a lot going on, right? But yeah, so I was like, I saw the attitude between different people, that the difference between someone showing off and someone just, I guess, really pursuing something, or the difference between people's attitude when it comes to you showing off or just being you, is how they see you. So if they see that your status is, or if they see you as better than them, they might see it as showing off. But if they see that you're like, okay, objectively or subjectively, you're like kind of working your way up there, they're like, oh yeah, like, keep going, like, they can applaud you. But and that's what showed me something that was interesting about human psychology, about how we see things. It was like, if someone is showing off, if I see them as XYZ, but someone needs to be encouraged if I see them as this. If we see a guy in the gym and they have wrong form, maybe they're ego lifting, but you see that they're overweight, you might think, oh, like, okay, like, bro's trying, like, he's I'm gonna be easy on him. But if you see a guy who's like really ripped and he's ego lifting, you're like, yo, why's this guy trying to show off? I think there's definitely it makes sense to see it that way, but I think how we see people determines the lens through which we view their confidence, either as confidence or being cocky or showing off, right? Or prideful, if you want to go biblical, right? And yeah, again, I guess to wrap up, my point about confidence has been that it's not going to come from you always succeeding. Of course, it adds to it and it gives it a boost. And it might even be it's the exact boost that you need to keep going to get you to that next point. But it's not, I don't think that's the foundation of it. I think it becomes a checkpoint, but it's not the foundation of it. Because if your confidence is based on how many times you succeed or the length of your success or victory, what does that say to us? That says to you or me that by virtue of that, that means that your success is temporary. That means that your confidence is temporary, because you can't be perpetually successful. You will have failures. But how do you react, or how do you act during those moments of failure, right? And I think that's the most important question we should all ask ourselves. Because with me, I want to say one last thing, but I don't think it's going to be one last thing. But I will say that I've realized that when I go into the gym, right, I am very confident, because I failed there many times and I've succeeded there many times, to the point where now my failures are objectively other people would want to be. Like, if I'm trying to do a handstand and I only hold it for 5 seconds, I have failed, right? I can't actually do a handstand, but I'm giving an example. But if someone is even able to hold a handstand for 2 seconds, they're like, oh shoot, I did it. So I'm saying, like, my standards become objectively different and probably higher, to where now the people I'm comparing myself to, myself being the primary source of comparison, are probably in the higher, or the top, the higher, what is it? I guess the rarer percentage of people, of like, okay, if 1% of the population works out, you're already in like a higher, you're already in a different group. But let's say amongst that 1%, only 2% of them can do a handstand, then you're in a higher group. Then amongst that two, you know what I'm saying? So my standards objectively are probably higher than most. I'm not saying that to brag. Like, I'm saying objectively. If I'm saying David can't do 5 muscle ups, therefore David is a failure. Someone is saying, bro, I can barely do 1 pull up. Like, our standards are different because of the journey that we're on, and no one is better or worse than the other person. I'm just saying that's what it is. So because of that, when I'm in the gym, I'm able to just walk around with a certain type of confidence that isn't even like, oh, I need to show off my muscles or I need to show these people so that they can respect me. Don't get me wrong. There's still like a sneaky desire in the back of my mind of like, oh, like that lady looked at me. Nice. Yeah. Mission accomplished. Or like that guy dapped me up saying like, bro, you're looking tough. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right, bro. That's me. Sorry. I don't know why I'm screaming. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, there's still that. But the moment you take me into an environment where I haven't fully conquered it or I haven't failed enough times to learn something from it, I'm like a fish out of water. It becomes a big fish, small pond syndrome to where I'm like, sorry, it becomes big fish was in a small pond, then it moves to an even bigger pond, and it's like, oh, that's a shark. Where I'm from, we don't have sharks. You understand? So it's like you're now comparing yourself to a different echelon of people. So your confidence is not as high. Or rather, you don't know how you will be perceived if you fail in this environment. So yeah, my battery's about to die. If you want me to continue this, I can continue this in the next episode. But yeah, this was episode 1 of Ramblings of a Tortured Mind. I will keep making these episodes in an attempt to be more articulate and in an attempt to flesh out my ideas more as I watch them back, but also as a way to share my insights with people if they get anything from this. Or maybe I'm just annoying. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I know that my confidence will be built from attempting this, failing this, learning lessons, and then moving on from there. So thank you for watching, and go subscribe to my other page or other channel. It's David Donna, and my Instagram is Valiant Poet. So thank you for watching episode 1 of Ramblings of a Tortured Mind. This mic was not connected to anything. I'm actually using this mic right here, and we'll only improve from here through failure and tireless execution and iteration. So thank you for watching, and as always, Godspeed. Episode 1 done. You can't even see me, bro. Episode 1 done. We'll do a review or a performance, a post game. Yeah, cut this, bro. Cut it off. We did it.